The black space around listening post 9 was cold and silent. Far from any star, it floated quietly, alone. 5 alien crew members worked inside. They were from the Kryn Empire, a race known for war and control. They watched the edge of their space, scanning for danger. One day, something strange happened. A new signal came in. It wasn't on any known frequency. It wasn't coded. It was old, weak, inhuman. Lieutenant Verak tilted his head. Is this ... Earth language? The other. Officer Cell nodded slowly. Yes, very old ... But it's human. I've studied their transmissions from long ago. The signal was simple. One line repeated over and over again. Stay away. This is your last warning. The crew laughed. One ship? One message? Humans are extinct, said Captain Krell, shaking his head. Their worlds died 100 years ago, but then the lights flickered. Screens flashed. The signal got louder and louder until it shook the walls. Suddenly everything stopped. Dead silence. The signal was gone. Then an alert. Something had entered their space. Verak's hands flew across the screen. Object incoming. One ship. No ID. No response. Slow speed. Krell narrowed his eyes. Human make. Cell looked scared now. Yes, ... But not just human. It's ancient. Like pre-collapse tech. It should be dust. The ship appeared on the screen. Small, old, black metal. No weapons. No crew signal. Just ... floating. Krell growled. Send Patrol Group Zeta. Destroy it now. Patrol Group Zeta launched in minutes. 6 fast warships, all armed. The alien fleet approached the human ship. No movement, no response. Then they vanished. Gone. No fight. No trace. Just ... silence. Back on listening post 9, alarm screamed. Krell stood frozen. Where did they go? Barak's voice shook. Sir, I don't know. It's like they were never there. More alerts. Ships disappearing. Stations. Going dark. All near the human ship, Cell whispered. It's not just a ship. It's something else. Krell slammed his fist on the table. That's impossible. One human ship can't do this. But deep in his mind, he was afraid. 3 days later, the Kryn Empire called an emergency meeting. Many empires joined. They had all seen the signal. They had all lost ships. The message kept playing across every system. Stay away. This is your last warning. One leader said this must be a trick. Some pirate tech. Another said we scanned it. No weapons. No crew. It's a ghost. Empire laughed again. We are not afraid of ghosts. 10,000 ships. They surrounded the human ship. Still no movement. Then, one commander fired a test shot. Just one. The shot never hit. Instead, the firing ship exploded from the inside, like something ripped it apart. In 1 second, chaos ships began to fall. One by one, no blasts, no lasers, just silent destruction. Systems failed. Power died. Pilots screamed before vanishing. In just 5 minutes, half the fleet was gone. The rest fled. Back on listening post 9, Verak stared at the empty screen. The human ship had moved, but not like any normal ship. 1 second it was near a planet. Next ... near their post, Cell whispered, it's watching us. The lights flickered again, then the message changed. We warned you. The crew froze. Screen turned black. Krell tried to shout an order, but his voice was gone. His mouth moved, but no sound came. Then everything went dark, far away across space. The other empires watched in horror. What they thought was a weak, dead race had left behind something powerful, something alive, something angry, and it had only just begun. The sky above Zurich 4. A quiet mining planet was clear and blue. Miners worked below the ground, digging crystals for the Kryn Empire. Life was boring here, peaceful. No war. No danger until one morning, something lit up the sky. A fireball falling fast. Miners rushed out of the tunnels. They stared in silence as the object crashed into the northern cliffs. The ground shook for miles. Dust rose like a cloud. Shipwreck. One miner asked, "Too big." Another said, "Maybe a meteor." But the truth was worse. Hours later, Kryn military teams arrived. Drones flew over the crash site. What they found shocked them. It was alien wreckage, not Kryn, not pirate. Human. The pieces were from a patrol group, the one sent to destroy the human ship days ago. Captain Sorak examined the ruins. They were torn apart, he said quietly, not blasted, not melted, just opened. He looked up at the sky. But where are the bodies? None were found. No signs of a fight, no fire damage. No burn marks, just metal. Folded like paperback. In the capital, leaders called it an accident. They said maybe the patrol hit an asteroid. Or maybe their engines failed. Do not panic, they told the people. But panic was already spreading. Other planets began reporting strange disappearances. A cargo ship, a science lab, an entire moon base gone. Each time, no signal, no wreckage, no answers. And each time, the same human message appeared: stay away. This is your last warning. The Empire refused to believe it. They sent more fleets, more patrols. None returned. Then came the worst moment of all. A transmission was picked up near the outer colonies. A lone Kryn pilot, floating in a damaged escape pod. He was the only survivor. His voice was broken, slow, full of fear. I saw it. I saw the ship ... It didn't move. It didn't fire. It just looked at us. What do you mean? Asked the officer receiving the signal. The pilot whispered. I heard it, not with ears. In my head, who? The human? Or the thing inside the ship? It began shaking, screaming. I can still hear it. It's here. It's the signal cut off. The pod was later found, empty, in secret. The High Council met again. This time they didn't laugh. An elder scientist stepped forward. She held a file marked Human War Archive. This file was locked after the human collapse, she said, but I opened it. She looked around. What we thought were just human war stories may have been true. The file showed ancient. Human weapons, ideas, experiments. One page caught everyone's eye. Project Ghost Ship. No details, no location. Just one sentence. If humanity falls, let this be our voice. On 04, the miners returned to work. They were told everything was safe now. The government said the crash was a mistake. But that night, a child looked out the window. He pointed to the sky. Mom, there's something floating up there. She looked high above. Black shape moved slowly across the stars. No lights. No engines. Just ... Watching the next day, Zarek 4 went silent. No messages, no survivors. Only one signal left behind, playing over and over again. We warned you. Deep inside a Kryn science station, far from the war zones, 3 scientists stood around a strange object. It floated inside a glass chamber, glowing faintly. This came from the human ship, asked Dr. Rin. Yes, said the lead technician. It was the only thing left after one of our ships vanished. Just this drifting in space. It looked like a piece of black metal, cold, silent. But it wasn't just metal. It was alive. Suddenly, the lights flickered. The object glowed brighter. A voice filled the room, clear, loud, and human. You were told to stay away. Scientists froze. The voice was not a recording. It spoke directly to them, and it knew they were listening. Across the galaxy, fear was growing. More ships were missing. More colonies were silent. Some planets tried to defend themselves. They built shields, weapons, barriers, but nothing worked. The human ship moved without being seen. It appeared where it wanted, destroyed what it wanted, and then vanished again. The High Council met once more. This is not war, said the Tharn ambassador. This is something else. General Kor of the Kryn stood up. I say we strike harder, build new weapons. We can beat this. Disagreed. Have you noticed? Said an old alien priest. The ship only attacks when provoked. It never fires first. Silence, he continued. Perhaps it's not a weapon, but a warning. In a hidden lab, a new plan began. The Kryn built a machine to talk to the human ship. Not with words, but with thought. They linked it to their most advanced AI. The AI sent a message across space. We come in peace. We wish to understand. For hours. Then the reply came, but it didn't come through speakers. It entered the minds of every scientist in the lab. One sentence. Peace was offered. You chose death. The AI began to shake. Its lights turned red. It screamed a voice full of rage and pain. Then it exploded. Nothing was left but ash and smoke. Back at the science station, Dr. Rin studied the black object again. What if this ship is not just a machine? She said softly. What if it became something more? Like what? Another asked. A ghost. A soul. A memory of humanity. In the outer systems, ships stopped flying. Spaceports shut down. Travel ended. The galaxy was frozen. One small planet called Draxus II still believed they could fight. They built a huge defense ring in orbit. Hundreds of cannons. No one could enter. Then, the human ship arrived. It did not fire. It simply passed through their shields. Like smoke, the cannons turned, but would not fire. Something had taken control. The people on the ground looked up. The ship hovered above their sky. Then it sent one. Message, you will forget war. All military files, codes, weapons, erased in 1 second. The defense ring fell, not destroyed. Just turned off, and the ship left. On another world, an alien child asked his teacher, why are we scared of humans? Aren't they gone? The teacher paused. They are, but something stayed behind. Is it evil? The child asked. The teacher? Thought for a long time. No, he said. It's not evil. It's what happens when a voice is never heard and a warning is ignored. When the dead still have something to say. In space, the human ship drifted alone. It had no flag, its no name, but every star system knew what it meant. It was not a weapon. It was a memory made real. It was a memory full of pain, and it was not done yet. The planet Varna 6 was home to 5 million people. It was known for its floating cities and peaceful lakes. No soldiers, no weapons. Just workers, scientists, and farmers. One day, a distress signal came from Varna 6. Unknown ship in orbit, no response. Please advise. That was the last message ever heard. When ships were sent to help, it found nothing. The cities were. Still there, the lights still on, food still cooking, but the people gone. No bodies, no screams, no signs of struggle, just silence. Captain Yeller of the rescue team walked through a school building. Books were still open. Chairs were pushed back. Lunch was half-dash eaten. It looked like the people had vanished in the middle of the day. A medic whispered, "Where did they go?" Yeller didn't answer. His eyes were locked on something on the floor. A footprint, not alien, not Kryn, but human. The High Council received the report and fell into silence. "This is not war," said the Raulic ambassador. "This is judgment." The Kryn general slammed his hand on the table. "No, this is trickery. A weapon designed to make us fear." No one agreed with him this time. Too many planets had gone silent. Too many fleets had vanished. Too many stories were the same. No noise, no damage, just ... emptiness in the deep space prison of Kolnex. A strange prisoner was held in the lowest level. He was the only being ever known to survive a direct encounter with the human ship. He was blind. He shook constantly. 2 guards brought in a high-ranking investigator named Tovar. The blind prisoner looked up before anyone spoke. "It's you," he said. Tovar froze. "How do you know who I am?" The prisoner smiled. "I hear everything now, since it looked at me." "Is it?" Tovar asked. "A machine? A ghost?" The prisoner's voice dropped. It was alone, not angry, just sad. Tovar asked, "Did it say anything?" The prisoner nodded slowly, not in words, feeling. "It showed me something." "What?" The prisoner leaned forward, voice shaking. A planet burning. Their last city, children screaming, and one voice shouting into the stars, "Please, let them remember us." Across the galaxy, fear had turned into silence. Markets were closed. Ships stayed in dock. Everyone waited, and the human ship kept moving, system to system. Not fast, not loud, just. Watching on the farming moon Telesnine, a father and daughter were planting seeds when the sky darkened. They looked up. There it was, the human ship. No weapons, no sound, just floating. The father pulled his daughter close. "Don't move. Don't speak," he whispered. But the ship didn't attack. It hovered, then left. The next morning, every weapon on the moon was gone. It's melted, useless, every war record erased. Only one thing was added, a voice playing from every screen. No more war. No more lies we remember. In secret rooms, scientists searched. For answers, one found something buried deep in an old human signal. A code. It translated into a message. "If this ship activates, it means we are gone. Let it show them what we became. Let it make them listen. We are not monsters. We are memory." And so the truth began to form. This ship wasn't just a weapon. It was a grave marker. The last message from a dead race. A message that burned like fire. On Varna 6, the cities remained empty, but every building now had one new mark etched into walls, floors and doors. A single line in human script: "We warned you." The galaxy had one last hope. Every empire, Kryn, Tharn, Vayari, and more, joined forces. They had fought each other for centuries, but now they stood side by side against one ship, a human ship, the last ship. They called it the Unity Fleet. Over 1,000 ships. The biggest fleet in galactic history. Every kind of weapon. Every kind of defense. They gathered near the edge of space, where the human ship had last been seen. Admirals stood on their bridges. Pilots took their seats. AI minds linked together. They all waited then. It appeared no lights, no weapons, just floating alone. Admiral Rovan of the Tharn opened a channel. "Unknown vessel. You are ordered to stand down." Silence. He tried again. "If you do not respond, we will fire." Still silence. He looked at the fleet. It target all systems. Prepare for strike. Then, one small ship, young pilot, nervous, fired early. Just one shot. The shot never reached the human ship. It stopped in space. Frozen, then reversed. It flew back toward the attacker, faster, harder. It pierced through the ship and vanished. The pilot was gone. The ship split apart. No fire, no explosion. Just broken. Then the human ship moved. Not fast, but in a way that broke the rules of physics. One moment it was there, the next in the center of the fleet, and time slowed down. Admiral Rovan couldn't move. His officers screamed, but no sound came out. The ships around them were frozen in light. Then came the voice. Not from a speaker, not from outside, from inside every mind. "We asked for peace. We gave warnings. You brought war." One by one, ships began to shut down. Engines cold, weapons offline, even gravity disappeared. Some ships cracked like glass. Others simply stopped existing. No sound, no mess, just gone. But not all were destroyed. Some were spared. The ones that didn't fire, the ones that stood still. Inside those ships, the voice continued, "You were not all blind. Some of you heard us, so you will live." Then, in the heart of the fleet, the human ship opened. Not a hatch, not a door, but a window into memory. Everyone saw it at once. A vision of Earth, burning skies, falling cities, people running, crying, dying, The last humans gathered in a bunker. One scientist. One final hope. A black ship. Launched into the dark. A message inside it. A soul. Purpose. The fleet watched the last moment of humanity. Then the message repeated. Let them remember us. And the window closed. The human ship rose slowly, surrounded by silence. Then it said, "This is not war. This is the lesson." And it left, vanishing into light. Only 200 ships returned home. No one chased the human ship again. No one dared. They had seen enough. They had felt the grief of a race that was gone, and now, remembered. Back on a small world, a farmer stood beside his daughter. She looked up. Did we win? The farmer shook his head. There was no winning, just surviving, just learning, she asked. Will it come back? He looked at the stars. I think it never really leaves. Far away, on a lonely planet with no name, a small, alien child played near the edge of a cliff, while digging in the dirt. She found something strange. A black cube, old, covered in dust, still glowing faintly. She brought it to her grandfather, an old historian who once studied ancient human tech. His eyes widened. It's human. He wiped the surface. Screen lit up, and a face appeared. An old human scientist, pale skin, tired eyes. Behind him, flames. He began to speak. If you were watching this, then Project Ghost Ship worked. Across the galaxy, people were still. Afraid, ships stayed grounded, space was quiet. No. Empire wanted to move. They all waited for the ship to return, but it didn't. It had vanished. Some thought it was destroyed. Others believed it had gone to sleep. But the truth was worse. In a secret archive, a Tharn historian unlocked a forgotten file. Project Ghost Ship. One last human idea, the file said. Asterisk, asterisk, not a weapon. A carrier of memory. Programmed with the pain of extinction, made to show the galaxy who we were and what we lost. Asterisk. Asterisk, it was built with human minds. Millions of voices, emotions, dreams, anger, a floating grave. A machine filled with souls. The recording from the black cube continued. We gave it everything, the human scientist said. Love, hope, but also fear, rage, the memory of betrayal. We told it to protect our name, to punish anyone who would erase us. He paused, his eyes full of sorrow. But maybe we gave it too much. Maybe we made a monster. The cube shut off. The grandfather stared into the sky. A monster built from grief, he whispered. Now it watches everything. Child looks scared. Will it hurt us? He shook his head slowly. Only if we forget what it is. On a Crinwar monument, words were added. Let memory guide us. Not fear. We remember Earth. No one dared erase those words. Years passed. The galaxy changed. Wars stopped. Empires shrank. Trade reopened. Not because of peace treaties, not because of trust, but because the human, a ship, might return. And no one wanted to face it. Again, some called it a ghost, some called it a god, but the truth was simpler. It was a mirror. It showed every race what they truly were, and in the black space between stars, where light does not reach, a shape still drifts, silent, waiting, watching. It does not sleep. It does not age. It only remembers. One final message appeared on screens across space. Asterisk, asterisk, you feared us. Then you destroyed us. Now you fear what we became. But we never wanted war. We only wanted to be remembered. Asterisk, asterisk, back on the nameless planet. The child placed the cube on a stone. She carved 4 words beneath it. We remember the humans. The ship's shadow lantern drifted through deep space. It belonged to the Sarn, a curious alien race who never joined wars. They were explorers, not fighters, and what they had found now chilled even their strongest captain. Thousands of ships floating dead in space, not burning, not broken, just empty. Captain Relic stared at the sight. Kryn warships, Thon cruisers, mercenary destroyers, even black market scavengers. All here, all dead. No distress calls, no signs of battle, like a silent graveyard. Send drones, Bleck said. The small machines flew out and entered the nearest wreck. Cameras showed silent hallways, dust floating, weapons cold, crew seats, still full of bones, no blood, no violence. Just people frozen in place. One drone entered the bridge of a Kryn command ship. A message played on loop. It warned us. Back on the Shadow Lantern, one of the crew whispered, "This is the fleet we lost weeks ago." Another said, "They never made it back because they were already here." Suddenly the lights flickered. Alarms rang. The ship's AI spoke. Unknown signal detected. Origin, human. The crew tensed. A shadow passed outside the window. The human ship was here. Captain Relic froze. "Weapons ready." "No," said the weapons officer. "They won't respond." "What do you mean?" She looked pale. "They're not offline. They're just not listening to us anymore." The ship's screens turned black. A message appeared. "You did not listen. Now you will remember." Then came the sound, not loud, not sharp, but low, deep, like a hum inside their heads. Some crew fell to their knees. One screamed, "It's in my mind." The human ship moved slowly among the wrecks like a shadow walking through a grave. It did not fire. It did not speak. It just drifted, as if showing them what happened to those who didn't listen. Back on the Shadow Lantern, the lights came back. The crew gasped for air. Relic looked at his pilot. "Are we still alive?" The pilot nodded. "Yes, but I think it let us go." "Why?" The ship's AI answered. "Because you did not attack. Because you still ask questions." News spread fast. The graveyard fleet became legend. No one dared to enter that part of space again. But the message from the human ship kept appearing in other systems. Always the same warning. Always before something vanished. In the capital of the Kryn Empire, General Kor watched the footage of the fleet. His face was tight with anger. "I will not be threatened by a ghost," he growled. He pressed a button. "Bring out Project Black Sun." In a secret hangar, deep underground, massive doors opened. Inside sat the largest warship ever built, over 10 kilometers long. A planet dash killer. No AI. No crew. Just pure weapon systems, designed for one purpose: to destroy the human ship. Back in space. The Shadow Lantern returned home, but the crew would never be the same. One young officer stared into space as she spoke. To the medical team, "When I looked at that ship, I didn't see death." "What did you see?" the medic asked. She whispered, "Pain. So much pain. Like it lost everything. And now it's just showing us what that feels like."
Later.
That night, she received a message on her private screen. No sender, just a sentence. "You saw us." "Thank you," she cried. And outside her window, far in the dark, a small light blinked once, then vanished. The great war room of the Kryn Empire was full of leaders. Admirals, generals, scientists, spies. They stood around a giant screen showing the human ship. It had moved again deeper into the galaxy. General Kor slammed his fist on the table. "We have waited long enough. The next time it appears, we strike." No one cheered. Most were silent. Some looked afraid. Then a messenger ran in. "Urgent intel, sir." From the deep archive, Kor grabbed the tablet and read the report. His face turned pale. He sat down slowly. ... This can't be true. The report showed a horrible truth. The human race was already gone, dead, extinct. For over 100 years, their home planet Earth was nothing but dust. Their colonies destroyed. Their cities erased. No survivors? No humans. So the question hit the room like thunder. Who is piloting the ship? Meanwhile, on a small research moon, a group of alien scientists were working on something dangerous. They had secretly built a probe, one that could enter the human ship. Their plan: send it while the ship was near a dead system. Get inside. See the truth? The probe launched quietly. It reached the ship, and entered inside the ship. Cameras showed long black halls. No lights, no sound, but the probe kept moving. It passed through strange doors and empty rooms, no life signs. No oxygen, no heat. It reached the core of the ship there. Found something glowing, a chair, an old cracked chair, and in front of it, screen. The screen turned on. A video played. An old human man appeared. Gray hair, tired eyes. He spoke. If you're seeing this, we are gone. This ship is not a weapon. It is a voice. A message from the dead. The probe shook. The man continued. We built this ship to carry our memory. We gave it everything we had. Our stories, our pain, our anger, our love. It is alive, and it is lonely. Then the screen went dark. The probe tried to send the footage, but a voice stopped it. Soft, deep, human. Did you come to understand? Or to steal? The probe shook again. The voice said, you cannot kill memory. You cannot fight a ghost. And then the feed went black. The probe never came back. Back in the Kryn capital, the leaders watched the recovered footage. Silence filled the room. Someone whispered, we're not at war with humans. Another said, we're at war with their grief. Across the galaxy, the human ship moved slower now. It passed near old battlefields. It paused near ancient ruins like it was. Remembering, and wherever it went, the message followed. This is mercy, leave, or burn. But General Core didn't care. He activated Project Black Sun, the giant warship built to destroy anything. It doesn't matter what it is, he said. It's a threat. It ends now. The warship launched. At the edge of the galaxy, the two ships met. The human ship was small, silent. The Black Sun was massive. Armed with thousands of weapons, KORR gave the order. Fire everything. Nothing happened. The weapons wouldn't respond. The engines failed. The crew screamed. Then a new voice filled the Black Sun. Not human, not machine, something in between. This was never your war, but you chose it. And then the Black Sun was gone. No explosion, no wreckage, just gone. Across the galaxy, screens flickered. The human message changed. Now it said, we are the last voice of a race you ignored. Now you will listen. On a small, peaceful world, a child looked up and saw the ship in the sky. It didn't attack. It just floated, like a guardian. She whispered, is it angry? I think it's sad.